Am I the a-hole for being upset that my boyfriend bought a home for me?
Homes are expensive.
Homes are expensive.
Sounds pretty nice. And
It
today
depends on what the strings are.
are there strings attached? And today we're going to be talking about this question on how do you navigate the first steps of dating? What should you do? How should you? What? What do you mean? First steps of dating.
First steps?
I think first steps of dating in general.
First steps of dating, when you start dating, maybe a little bit later. The question can be quite broad.
Yeah, like at what point do you go on a date to a jazz club? Anyway, this comes from Objective P516 and Rhino Rev 40.
Ooh.
Is this a double feature? My boyfriend of 9 months purchased a home and said he bought it with me in mind, as we have talked about a future and wanting to have a family. We've had many serious talks about our relationship, and we've both met each other's families. He previously lived in a home for several years and has always thought about changing his living situation, and also wasn't sure if he even wanted to stay to live in the same city. To my surprise, he went to see a house without me knowing and put in an offer. Long story short, his offer was accepted, and he's made comments about how he thought about this new house for us eventually, and I am not sure how I feel about it. I'm really happy that he got a house. He really likes it, and the price was right for it, but I feel we're not there yet to move in with each other. Also, in no way did I have a say in the decision of this house or the location. I don't think of him saying he got this house with me in mind is fair. He hasn't considered the commute for me to travel to work or anything that would be considered specifically to actually having me in mind. He bought this home 1 block away from his previous house, as he will be renting out that home now. So this home by default is a great location for him overall. I'm not sure how to feel about his comments and his expectations with me and the house. Man is diving deep, going deep and fast.
He's just looking a little bit too far ahead.
Additionally, I am a student, and the closing of his house happened to be the very busiest week of exams and assignments I had due. We had conversations about how I could not help him move, and there seemed to be an understanding. That week consisted of working on a presentation, studying for an exam, and working on a paper. Any other free time I had, I invested in self-care, such as working out or doing yoga. However, on one of those days, I posted a selfie where I was proud to have accomplished so much in the morning before going to work, and he got extremely upset about this. He went on to say I didn't care to help him move and that I didn't want to help him move, essentially, and made a big, huge deal about it, as he bought this house with, quote unquote, me in mind. What do you think about this? And there is some edit to give additional context and a big fat juicy update. But Sophia, what do you think?
A little suspicious.
Suspicious?
A little suspicious.
So what do you think is suspicious about it? Because basically what happened is this guy bought a house with her in mind. They've been dating for 9 months, but he didn't think about the commute, didn't think about like her being in school. It sounded like, I want to get married and I want you to live with me.
Yeah, which feels like a lot of pressure to put on a 9-month relationship.
9-month relationship. That is a lot of pressure.
I feel like even like a 2-year relationship. Like,
maybe they're Mormon.
I think
when
there's
I went
a
to
world.
Utah, Mormons get married 6 to 9 months, like that.
Crazy. Naja says he's trying to make OP feel guilty, bruh. Which, it just feels like OP's got a lot going on with school and stuff. And then it feels like he's trying to force OP into a a depth of a relationship earlier than she's comfortable. Yeah, she doesn't seem like she's ready for that.
Lydia Whitaker says, not all Mormons do. You're right, but I'm just saying, on average, Mormons get married earlier. Edit. To give more context, the house is bought entirely with his money. I have zero financial contribution to this. We never talked about a specific time frame when I would move in. It was discussion about how it's something we both would want eventually. We did talk about how I would contribute when the time comes, in which I mentioned expenses such as hydro, utilities, internet, etc. I also made it clear that in no way was I expecting a free ride and not to contribute anything. That's just not my character. The selfie was posted was a close-up shot of my face with sunglasses, enjoying a coffee. I had made a list of accomplishments of my tasks that day and wrote in the picture, meal prep, check. Workout, check. Coffee, check. Sunshine, check. Great way starting my day so far.
Was he upset about a photo?
He was upset about our photo.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah,
It's like, why is she telling us about
he
this?
was like, you should have been helping me instead of getting
Oh.
sunshine.
How dare you? Yeah, no, that's a little bit much too.
But there is an update, and I want to say we get an update from the other side coming up.
No way.
Coming up. Yeah. I realized that when we talked about the reality of me moving in with him, I mentioned that I could sell all my furniture but would want to keep my desktop computer/desk. His response to me was that he wouldn't let me have my own room for that and to get a laptop instead. The man has an entire room dedicated to his sneakers. When I also mentioned the commute and how I'd have to pay for parking as I take the subway to work currently, not a big deal in comparison to paying for the mortgage, but still an expense, he said there could be days he could drive me, then followed up with, but you don't ever drive me to work. He did not buy the house with me in mind at all. It's clear that this is his house and he wasn't going to share his space in any other way besides how he wanted it. From her perspective, it seems like she's not seeing how she can fit into his house, which is, I mean, if he wants her to live there, it's a problem. It's a problem.
If it's something for their future, you do have to have equal kind of space.
Socrates says, that is a big ol' nope from me. Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of red flags here, but we'll see. We'll wait to hear the other side of the story. So we had plans for me to come over on a specific day, but had also fought. I admitted and apologized that I could have put my anger aside and could have come to help. However, I wanted reassurance that he understands that if I have my own priorities and we discussed this, he cannot throw it in my face and tell me I did not meet his needs. I'm not saying, of course, that in any case I would not drop something for my partner in an emergency. I did not feel that he understood this. And when I tried to explain, he said that I was retracting my apology. I just kept feeling constantly misunderstood and having to defend myself in this relationship with other issues as well. That was the end of that. Better to cut it off sooner than later before taking the relationship to the next level of commitment. It definitely sucks. And I showed him this thread in which he, of course, was upset, says he felt betrayed. He called me entitled and he thinks I am saying I bought it for me, which is not in any way what he's saying. He's missing the point from this post in which I think he doesn't want to take accountability for not acknowledging he was wrong for throwing it in my face. The main point was guilt tripping and using the I bought it with you in mind response, because clearly, even if the commute was not in mind, currently I live in an expensive area, so to not buy a house here is a valid point. The ability to actually live with him was not with me in mind. He really absolutely did not care about me as a person and my needs, or even can understand what a real relationship is. He skimmed through all 565 comments and screenshotted the best ones that validated him and sent them to me to prove he's a quote-unquote good guy. But there is another post called My Side.
Ooh. See, right now I feel like I'm like holding back on my thoughts because I'm like, oh, what's he gonna say? How's he gonna get out of this?
based on what he's saying, so the first OP, Objective P, based on Objective P, what do you think of what she said so far?
Based on her thing, I would break up with this guy.
And why would you do that?
It seems like he's placing a lot of stress on this relationship very quickly, especially, when expecting her to help him move when she's in the middle of finals. When someone's a student, that's a big burden to bear and a lot going on, and you can't really necessarily help someone, sort out what they're going through. So yeah, on that end, based off of her words, I feel like they should break up because this doesn't, it seems like he's a little much over there.
Yeah, but there is a huge, giant update. Gina, thanks for the $25. I just got in and saw Sam look shipwrecked. My side. And this is from Rhino Rev 40, so the boyfriend. She only showed me this a few days ago, but for the past couple of weeks, my now ex-girlfriend has been curating the truth to extract as much validation as she can from the situation and has prevented me from commenting or sharing my side. She admits that I actually said that I bought a house with us in mind. I did say that. When I first met her, I was moving away to LA. I had already lived in a home that was paid off for 12 years, but when I met her, I decided that maybe it's best to continue to build a life here. And should things work out, we could figure out a future together. I had been already at the market, and one day an amazing house came on the block for $300,000 less than it was months ago, which means it's probably like millions.
Yeah.
I pounced and went to see it. The night I told her I saw a place, I even sent her photos and said, I'm going to place an offer, which I did. She seemed to love the place and see how much of an upgrade it would be from my current place. This is a $2 million house with 4 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, and most importantly, a garage, as my cars kept getting stolen since I didn't have one at my current place. Cars, man, it's loaded. There has never been mention of moving in together right away. At the time, we were together for 6 months, way too soon. We weren't even saying I love you yet. And I did say that once, actually, and she didn't return it anyways.
It's like we weren't even saying it because she didn't say it back.
Yeah,
That's crazy. 6 months?
6 months saying I love you, I think, is normal-ish.
I feel like I'd
Max
say it
3.
before.
Like 3 months.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a lover, but I feel like I'd tell everyone I love them.
Well, then,
Everyone?
Yeah, I love you.
But it's different when you say it to a romantic partner.
How long are you waiting?
I would much rather take them on a trip than tell them that he loves them.
That's not true. I say
You said that. I said, would you rather say I love you or take them to Mexico?
Well, it depends on if I actually love them.
Whoa.
When I say I love you in a relationship, it means I am committing to seriously considering like a full life with you. Like I love you to me means I am committing to a life with you. That's what an I love you means.
Okay.
That being said, since we spend 95% of our time sleeping at my place when we see each other once a week, figure this would be good for us, and when it is time, we could move in together there and go from there. She loved the place from what she said. This was supposed to be a positive. Now, let's rewind though. 3 months into the relationship.
Sorry, I was laughing. I went, and then you stopped.
3 months into the relationship, she asked to borrow $4,000.
Whoa! We are getting the other side.
I was not comfortable with it, but as usual, she made herself seem so much in need that I couldn't say no and just break up with her there. But now I realize I should have. She guilted me, saying the couples have to work together and to be there for each other and all that jazz. The fact is, within those 3 months, I had brought her to LA while I had to be there on business, and the total cost of the week that she was there was $3,000. Then over Christmas, we went to another city and another $2,000 to $3,000, as well as a Punta Cana vacation for $7,000.
Whoa. It sounds like he's rich and she's maybe exploiting.
So after all that is when she decided to ask me. And you don't need to be a genius to realize that she chose me because clearly she pinned me as having money too. Had this been my wife or long-term girlfriend, this wouldn't have been an issue, but this is 3 months in. This was a big red flag, and I talked to her about it, as usual. And as the pattern throughout this relationship, she would get extremely angry, lose her cool, and make me feel bad for questioning her character. So fast forward to me actually moving into this house over a 3-week period. She helped none whatsoever, never offered, and my own family and friends and people who were working at the house asked me about it all the time. Oh, she has school. Oh, she texts me though, and so on and so on. Completely MIA until, of course, Friday and Saturday night, where she wanted to go for dinner or go to shows. That we did, of course. One day, once her exams had tailed down and she told me she was waking up early to write a photo, I saw that she posted sunshine, kiss selfie saying yoga, meal prep, coffee, sunshine. And I wrote her privately, I feel like you could have at least offered to help in some way today. Again, she loses it. Tells me, you don't have to tell me something just because it bothers you. And then eventually she says that I will never forget this ever. Don't you think you're expecting a little much of me for 7 to 8 months of dating? I was shocked. For some reason, pressuring your boyfriend for a $4,000 loan 3 months in is not too much, but offering to help in any way over a 3-week period is too much. Yeah, 3 weeks of him moving in, and she didn't help once.
Ooh, not good.
I called it off, decided I don't need her, and this relationship wouldn't work with this set of values we don't share. A couple of days later, after trying whatever she could to flip this whole fight on me, constantly changing the goalpost as a pattern I had identified and made her aware of repeatedly over the 7 to 8 months, she eventually showed up unannounced, apologized profusely, and apparently seemed to genuinely recognize that it wasn't right and she could have offered. I took some of the responsibility when she did and said that maybe I could have been more direct as to when and how. We resolved, we started to laugh again. This was a fight that we could learn from, we both said. Well, last week, we disagreed for another simple issue. She blew up, as she does, yelling, calling my life chaotic, calling me everything she can think of, and then that she resents me for wanting her to help with the house when she had exams. Basically, she took back the apology fully and stormed out of the house. I did not chase her. I did not text her. I did not want to negotiate at all anymore. The next morning, she said she acted like that because I told her she was effed. To be honest, I don't remember saying that, but I probably did, as she was having a massive blowout. I apologized for saying that she is effed because, after all, whatever I do is in my control, and I tried my very best to get her to see that blowing up like that is her behavior to be accountable for. That's when she shared the original thread. Again, no words. Shocked that for a couple of weeks in the background, she had been farming all these comments about me, sharing our personal stuff, and curating it in a way to make herself look like, you guessed it, a victim whose boyfriend bought her a house. We met off Hinge. She asked to borrow $3,000 from me 3 months in, and I told her since then that it just didn't look good at all, and I'd hate to have something like that I couldn't even share with my friends and family. But the facts are that she only shared the stuff that mattered as the relationship went on. She's over $40,000 in debt. She got fired from her nursing job because the educator had it in for her, missed out on receiving funding from school because of their online portal, wasn't able to apply to graduate school because the school didn't let her know properly, hates her parents even though they gave her a car, paid for the exams, and other failed attempts at schooling in the past, told me that her last relationship was toxic and she didn't see a future with him, but stayed with him for 3 years when they broke up. He threatened to jump off their building, same building she currently lives in, where one bedroom cost more than my previous mortgage did for the 12 years that I paid it. Overall, yes, I had reason to play it slow with her. I didn't want her moving in on a technicality or making me responsible for all her bills or getting trapped if things didn't work out. I didn't buy her a house. I bought my house in cash, paid in full, and she was well aware of it. I bought a house because I had settling down in my current city in mind after meeting and hoped it would work out. But here she is complaining about if she would have an office in it. For nursing? A shoe room? I have 25 pairs of shoes in a closet. The spare bedroom would be for a baby's room, possibly if my future half is comfortable with that. Discussions would be had, but I realized the discussions would never be had with her. She has rage in her mind, a wild sense of entitlement, and at present time is currently getting evicted from her apartment,
Sound ill.
And has no full-time job, but all the time in the world to make Reddit posts for validation. This problem is solved. She is not going to move in, and I am accountable for my house and hope she becomes accountable for her house. I welcome any comments/questions, but I know I was dealing with a highly problematic person who will never truly realize her ways.
Boy,
This
boy.
scares me. Like, we read a lot of Reddit stories, and I really wonder what the other half of a lot of them are.
Yeah. Someone said earlier,
Eternal victim.
these are wildly different stories.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like she's just being a victim.
Yeah.
And she's
his
trying
story-
to milk this
yeah.
guy for his money.
Yeah, based off of his story, she sounds like she's just trying to take his money.
Take your money.
And I mean, honestly, if we were to look at either of these stories individually, at the end of the day, they need to break up.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
the solution. Whoever is telling the truth, the answer is break up.
Emma Bear 26
Yeah.
says Sam is allergic to her BS. Facts.
Oh.
But yeah, that's where that story ends.
That's where the story ends.
I
That's crazy.
love the double-sided story.
Yeah.
The double-sideds are great. I
What do
love
we call that?
just two sides to every story. We call it a double-side, a
Wait,
double-sider.
what thing
Or
are we
double
on?
feature?
Leanna says, my therapist always says there's 3 sides to every story. His, hers, and the truth.
Stand on business.
Why don't you get a haircut?
Am I the a-hole for showing up to hang out with my girlfriend's family? She asked me not to.
Oh, so making friends with the family.
When that's not on the wish list. Anyways, this story comes from Easy Reading 7768, who says, so for the record, we're both girls. I love my girlfriend a lot, but we don't meet eye to eye on some stuff. She is bi and progressive, but old fashioned sometimes. Her parents are Asian and first gen after all. And for context, it's like first generation. So it's like, okay, like maybe they have like more conservative views versus like in America or other Western countries or whatever. I've been dressing in outfits that are a lot more revealing. I just find it fun to do. I've been getting stares and looks, but I don't care. We're home for the summer from university, and she's spending a lot of time with her family. I used to be around her family a lot, but she doesn't want me to dress how I do around them. She said it would have a bad impression, and she doesn't want her sister to start dressing like me either.
Wait, this is his girl?
This is so OP, their girlfriends, and OP's girlfriend, she's like, she is bi and progressive, but also can be old fashioned in some ways. One of the ways being, so OP has started dressing more revealing. It's summertime, it's hot girl summer, and OP's, wearing hot girl summer fits.
Are they dating?
Like it. Yes.
Okay, they're dating.
They're girlfriend and girlfriend.
And like OP's girlfriend is basically like, you're dressing too promiscuously, and I don't want my sister to look like you, which is kind of a diss.
Kind of also crazy thing to say a little bit.
Yeah.
We got into an argument where I said that her parents should just put up with it. It doesn't matter what I wear. She disagreed and said it's a matter of respect for the people around you. She said it would be embarrassing for a man to show up to meet her parents half naked. It's not cool for me to do that either. She made a comment like, dang, my immigrant parents do their best to be blended into American culture and understand you, and you can't even put on clothes to show a little respect for my parents. This is tough. This is boiling. This is rising to the top.
Okay, I have thoughts.
Talk to me. What are your thoughts?
If I was meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time, I wouldn't wear like a tank top and shorts. I would probably wear like a nice button down.
What if it was at
Hot Boy
like a
Summer?
Not even Hot Boy Summer. It's not even Hot Boy Summer. It's at a like fun outdoor block party, beach party type vibe. You're meeting the parents at the beach.
And would you come in a suit and tie, or would you
come
a
Speedo?
In a Speedo?
Speedo.
Would you come in a Speedo? That's the
I
question.
would. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on, but it all depends on what the expectation is.
Yeah.
Like if my girlfriend says, hey, like if you want to make the best impression on my parents, they're a little bit conservative, like you're gonna have to wear a suit to the beach. I would be like, I love this girl. I want to make the best impression. I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah. Here's maybe a good distinction. I feel like when you start an impression, yes, totally. I totally agree. But then there's a point where if you see them like regularly and becomes like a reoccurring thing, you don't want to like constantly have to.
Sure. But what if it's like different culture, right? Like,
yeah,
right,
I'm
like,
not saying,
what would you wear upon meeting your girlfriend's family?
Nice.
Tyler said my boyfriend's Muslim family visited and I covered up even more than usual just to be respectful. He didn't even have to ask me. I just did it.
100%. There's so it is so contextual.
It's
with
so contextual.
Every single part. But let's get back to the context of OP.
But also, if they're super conservative, do they know that they're together?
Yes.
They do know that they're together.
It is not 1,000% crystal clear, but the context is that the parents do, because they're like, hey, when you're around them, don't dress so crazy. She is around them.
But it could be that they're just like around as
it is
like her parents see as friends.
It is possible. Yeah, she's bi and progressive, old fashioned sometimes. Her parents are Asian and first gen after all. I feel like when she said that, she would have said, but they don't know about me.
Right. Bethany says, I think asking a significant other to wear something nice to meet your family is a small ask.
Totally, yeah.
I agree.
And normal.
I agree. And I think like as a person that wants to make the best impression, I feel like you should want to.
I feel like a sign of a partner is like you think about it ahead of time anyways, because you're concerned about your partner. Anyways, let's get back to the story here, which I didn't like because obviously what I wear shouldn't matter. If they see it as respect, they're dumb for that. That's all there is to it. They need to grow up.
I feel like that is culturally naive.
Yeah. I do feel bad for her because her past relationships have gone out of their way to be respectful to her family, including learning a little of her parents' first language. I want to do that, but I also want to dress how I want. But she said if I dress like that, I can, but she's not going to invite me to hang out around her family, which really threw me up. I guess threw me off. I used to hang out with her family all the time. I mean, they aren't happy about the gay thing, but they have accepted it. Then they can accept how I dress now.
So they do know about it.
Yes. So I knew the restaurant my girlfriend was at and just showed up. Her parents were a little rude and looked scandalized. They asked if I was wearing a bikini top and going to the beach after. I told them no, firm, and they shut up. My girlfriend ignored me, and it was obvious she was upset with me.
That's kind of an a-hole move to show this.
You're like ambushing them.
Yeah,
like,
that's
almost.
that's pretty whack. There's a certain level of respect that you have for other people. Let's say you go to like a church or a mosque or something. You don't yell in the mosque because you want to be respectful to what's going on there, even though you might not share the same values or beliefs.
Yeah,
you know?
and someone's like, hey, this is what you do. Like you wash your feet in the mosque, and you're like, okay,
you
cool.
wear
I don't want to
certain,
be
like covering.
Yeah,
or,
like
a
I
hat
don't want
or
to be
something.
disrespectful. So yeah, I'm happy to like again, there is some of a respect thing.
Yeah,
There'll be a lot
because
of comments
there's
and
two sides.
conversation.
It's like
Yes.
one is some of the comments that we saw earlier. Don't police what other people address.
Yes.
And the other is if you want to be somewhat culturally sensitive and mature, maybe be respectful of someone else's familial values a little bit.
Yes. But Opie says, when we left, it was obvious she was pissed, and she said, if I don't invite you, you don't come, period. She has been mad at me about it, but I think what I did was awesome. I hope her sisters start stressing like me, honestly. I told her I was just proving it wasn't a big deal what I wear. So, am I the a-hole? There is some quick relevant comments I'll close out with. Butterfly Princess says, you're the a-hole. Nothing is better than blatant disrespect and boundary stomping in a relationship. You don't sound mature enough for a relationship. No wonder why she doesn't want you around her sister. Does that not tell you enough? You embarrass her. I have secondhand embarrassment for you. Don't dwell on it too long, though. Her, your girlfriend's next relationship, assuming that they're going to break up, will probably be everything yours isn't. Respectful of family, respectful of her kind and understanding. I am so excited for her. Ouch.
Wow.
Matt Hattergal with the $20 dono says, this story reminds me of my first boyfriend. He broke up with me because his mom could not handle me always wearing black and Victorian style clothing. Dude, you're dating a gothic girl. This is what we wear. And that, again, that's why I feel like it's so contextual, because it's like, if you get married and you're like, there isn't a religious thing. They're just like snarky and annoying and constantly like picking on you for things like that are like objectively not crazy. Like some holes in jeans. Like, I'm sorry. Like that. I just don't think that's that crazy. And then you're married and that person keeps making comments and like kind of insulting you. I feel like there's a point where it's like, guys, stop.
I think OP in this situation is in the wrong. And I think what was the most egregious act is showing up to this dinner uninvited.
Yes, it seemed it was kind of hard to tell, but it seemed like it was a explicit non-invite.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, hey, you're like not, dressing a certain way to respect my parents, so I'm not going to invite you. And then OP just barged in anyways.
Yeah. Super immature.
It sounds like a some sort of like bikini top, sports bra, something.
Yeah.
Along
and
those
like,
lines.
I could understand maybe there's some ways of dress that are more of a lifestyle than anything else. And you know what? Like, you can be uncompromising in the way you dress.
Yeah.
That is completely up to you. But
Totally.
some people will not be comfortable inviting you into certain spaces because of how you dress. Like, I spent a lot of time with nudists, right? And there are some nudists that will not go anywhere not being nude. They want to be completely nude all the time. And, I probably won't invite them to like family dinners if they insist on being nude.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
But it's
sir?
it's their prerogative. They can dress however they want to dress, but that doesn't mean you have to invite them to every event.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's hard because it's her parents. Like what
Well,
are you
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, I think in this situation, it's like if you can't respect what I'm asking for my parents, then maybe it's not a good relationship to be in. But I think OP can say, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to change how I dress. And then like maybe the relationship implodes. OP can make a boundary saying, I don't want to change like how I dress. If you're asking me to do that, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship. And I think the OP's partner can say, hey, I want someone who is going to respect my like parents' cultural boundaries.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't do that. Both people can make those boundaries, and that's totally fine.
Yes.
But what's not fine is OP crossing their girlfriend's boundaries and inviting themselves to a dinner that they were specifically uninvited from. That's crossing a boundary.
Also, they're home from university for the summer. It is giving like early like, freshman college relationship vibes.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I want to wear what I want, and what I did was awesome, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, okay, like, come on.
Agreed.
What are we doing?
We doing dumb stuff. But should we be doing this next story?
right.
Let's do it.
The girl I liked kissed me when I dropped her off. What do I do?
Marry her.
This comes from a throwaway account, and they say, we met at work and became friends fast. Now we spend a ton of time together. We started playing video games together. So if we're not working together, we're on mic together. That's cute. I took her to get Pokey and Boba after work. She touched my hand when she laughed, and I almost died. When I dropped her off at her place, she just leaned over, kissed me, thanked me, then said she would be waiting for me on the game we play. Then got out of the car.
Hot.
Not going to lie, that was my first kiss. And I am a super virgin. Not anymore, baby, just virgin. Let's go.
It's me, super virgin.
My mind is reeling and I don't know what to do. I kind of want to ask if she's my girlfriend, but that seems crazy. I don't want to ask her, and it makes me think I'm clueless. I am. And what if she laughs and never talks to me again? Also, if the kiss was bad and she wants to pretend it never happened, I don't want to humiliate myself. I don't even know if that was a date or not. Maybe I just move on and see what happens next, but I'd really like to try to make a move if she's into me. I really don't know. This is cute as frick, and there is an update.
Adorable.
What is your? I'm curious on all of your advice.
That's a date. That was a date. You've been dating.
Yeah, it is immensely obvious that she is into you. I know, like we always say, like, oh, men are like oblivious. We've been oblivious before.
We are oblivious men.
But if a girl kisses you, that is pretty freaking obvious.
And plus, like the touch on the hand and laughing.
If a girl kisses you, that is obvious that she's into me.
It is.
That's the only way that men will know that you are into them.
Well, that's where it's like, okay, like all bets are off. What the hand touching thing? It could like you could be like, oh, was it an accident? Is like whatever. Like, but
We
that's
made
like
her laugh and giggle though.
Yeah.
yes, a laugh and giggle is often a sign of
Making
attraction as well. But also, you could just make it what?
You can make her laugh and giggle. You can make her. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say.
Come on, go ahead.
I'm not gonna say it.
You can make her cheeks clap and jiggle.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anyway,
I would say, just text her back. Say, how about that kiss?
Bethany says the girl I like kissed me. What do I do? You date her. Problem solved. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. Bethany, it's that simple. So there is an update. Hi, everyone. Thank you to everyone who responded. I really appreciated all the advice and reassurance. I was fully panicking and didn't know what to do. I got a bit overwhelmed with comments and did not respond to all of them, but trust me when I say I read and appreciated every single one. For everyone listening right now, if you have a story about either misreading signs of interest or meeting someone's parents, DM Riley on Discord right now and we'll bring you up on stage. I also want to know and add that I know my post wasn't very popular, but I was not sure how else to update, so I'm making a new one. I'm a bit jittery right now, and I'm probably going to include too much detail, but I'm just very, very happy. We went on a date.
Hooray!
The day after I made the post, I dropped her off at home after work. I asked if she wanted to go to the mall with me this weekend. She laughed and said, okay. Then I actually kissed her this time, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I was very, very nervous the whole time. The mall was fun. I chose it because it's casual and there's a lot of stuff to do there. We got drinks. She asked for a sip of mine and drank straight from my straw, which did something to me. She hugged me a lot. She let me kiss her a bunch. We held hands.
Whoa.
I put my hand on her back. Let's go, boy, blowing her back out. I even played with her.
Not really, but I'm so happy for him. It's adorable.
It was really, really nice. All in all, we just looked at cool stuff and hung out together, which was all I wanted anyway. We went to dinner at a noodle place. She fed me something she wanted me to try. I don't even remember what it tasted like because I was too busy panicking because she was feeding it to me. I mean, I think that's like the experience when you eat out with a girl. It's like you're feeding each other stuff.
Yeah. Eat out the rich.
Eat out the rich. She also stole a dumpling off my plate, which was really, really cute. I don't even care that I lost a dumpling. I went in her house for a while and she mostly just showed me her anime figures and PC setup, but it was still surreal the whole time. I told her she was pretty and she smelled good, and she laughed and told me I was handsome and smelled good, which made me turn into soup. I think we technically made out on her bed for like 15 seconds. I told her she was my first kiss and she laughed and called me cute. I almost turned to dust. When I left her, she told me to message her when I get home so that she knows I'm safe. And again, I nearly died right then and there. That was really it. I'm home now and my heart is still practically pounding. I almost asked her if she was my girlfriend again, but I learned from the comments that that's a terrible idea. And I'm going to wait a few weeks and a few more really great dates to ask her to be my girlfriend. We've been messaging practically constantly since I got home. I'm sorry the update was boring and rambling and stupid. I'm just really, really happy.
I mean, adorable.
So cute.
It's one of the most adorable stories we've read in a long
Aw, young love. So
Right.
pure, so beautiful.
Until it's all destroyed.
So it's all destroyed
Until the update.
until the update.
My girlfriend.
I just discovered Red Pill.
My girlfriend stole all my money from me. She
And my
drained my
gaming
Roblox
PC.
account.
Oh, yeah. Shout out OP. Lord McFart says, lucky OP. I need his type of riz.
Dude. Honestly, I will say, when OP first opened off the story, I'm like, this is going to end really badly. He's going to be like, hey, so like, we're going to get married or
Like
what are we going to do? And then he was like, let me not ask. Like, I think he really played it cool. He kissed her. It was great.
Special Wiener says, to be innocent again.
What's up with you guys' crazy usernames lately? I feel like the username just like Lord McFart Special Wiener. Like, are we a 90% women podcast or a 90% dude podcast? What's going on? What's going on?
I like those. I read it because I thought it was.
I know, right? Honestly, if you really want to have your comment read, change your username to something crazy and hilarious to read out loud.
Bethany says, if you lose a dumpling and you don't even mind, you are in love.
True.
Amen.
I got a good one. Good color in.
Ooh.
Do it.
My former mother-in-law gave me a very decent dress when I turned 18. Years later, I found out why, and I don't want to tell why. But it's very, very good.
Okay.
All right. Valley Lily?
Valley Lily.
Aha. Hello, Valley Lily. Hello.
Valley Lily, Lily of the Valley.
Here we are.
Hello, Aunt.
Good.
Hi,
good,
Riley.
good to have you on. Wait, this is your aunt, Riley?
No, she in her YouTube thing, she looks like my aunt, so I call her aunt.
That's cute. We heard you
I
have-
got a lot of siblings that I'm not blood relative to.
There we go. the extended family. Well, we
Okay,
hear
fam.
you received a dress at 18 for very mysterious reasons. Could you give us a quick breakdown of what happened?
Well, first of all, I was young and I like to dress what you say young. It was
Yeah.
the 90s.
What were they dressing with in the 90s?
Short.
Short.
Both ends.
Nice.
And she bought me a dress for my 18th birthday, and I'm not lying, it had long sleeves all the way down to my wrists and a very round neck all the way up to my neck, and it ended at my ankles.
Oh, wow.
And it had an emperor waist. I mean, there was absolutely no shape to see anywhere.
It was a cloak. It was like
a
what you
blanket
would,
with a head hole.
Yeah, it was what you would wear if you were a ghost on Halloween.
More or less, yes.
Yeah.
And the jokes on her at the party, I still managed to give body tequilas, but that's another story. But a few years later, they were having their 25th anniversary.
Okay.
Big party. My parents was there and everything. And I was dancing with my father-in-law. And he told me that back then when I was 17, when I started dating my boyfriend, I sometimes ran across the hall only in my underwear, as my bra and panties.
Okay.
And a man wouldn't be a man if he didn't find a girl tempting. So I guess I know why I got that dress.
So they gave you the dress to cover up your tempting body?
I guess that's what she was thinking, yes.
My God. What did you say back?
Not much.
Yeah.
I was just kind of speechless.
Did you ever wear it?
I did. Well, as I said about the party, I'm from Denmark, and I worked at the discotheque, and our boss was taking us from Denmark to England on the ferry for a weekend. And he found out that little Lily never had a tequila in her life. Yeah. And I ended up sitting on the bar with some of my colleagues' jacket over my legs and my dress up over my neck, so I only have it on my arms, and giving body tequilas.
So you did wear the dress, but not as
intended.
Not as intended.
And was still able to serve body shots while wearing this dress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I ended up in the bathroom, my dress covered in vomit. We had 18-meter high waves that night, and I was drunk like a skunk.
Oh my God.
18-meter high waves? That's huge.
18 meters. Yeah, that's huge. It was kind of a storm, and it wasn't funny. Back the next night we were sailing back, and that wasn't fun because I was hangover as shit.
Valley Lily, you sound like you were a lot of fun.
The life of the party, Valley Lily.
Well, I got a borderline emotional personal disorder that makes me kind of feel I'm 16 forever.
Hey, maybe
Pay forever. Let's go.
Turn 11 to the lemonade.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I've learned to manage my drinking. I'm still a lot of fun without the drinking, but
there we go.
Hey,
love to hear that.
That's what we love to hear.
Exactly.
And also, we love to hear your story. That was incredible. Thank you so much for calling in, Valley Lily.
Well, you can call me anytime. I got a lot of fun stories.
Sure you do. Thanks again. See ya. Wow, that was so hilarious. Also,
the body shot.
Also, being in the like trance or electronic, I don't know what it is, like scene in like the late 90s, early 2000s in Europe must have been a vibe.
Dude,
I want to watch a documentary on it now.
They went nuts back in the day.
Yeah,
missed out.
Right.
Born too late.
And in America.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
I'll skedaddle on over there someday. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.